I do have some couple of questions. First of all, seems that the area underneath your curve is quite small. How could you ensure that the integral is correct? But at the very least, I wonder, what you haven't shown any error bars. I expect some error bars. This is first question number one. And secondly, when you compare, say, 1,000 gram of vitamin C with 2,000 gram of some other things, or one garlic or two garlic, how would you calibrate between the different types of food, whatever? I mean, they are not on the same basis, right?
Addressing your first question, we videotape the whole process, the readings, and then we slow down the video and take each reading and plot it in the graph. So there should not be a very big error in plotting each of the points, because we can clearly see the reading for every second. And then, concerning your second question, do you mean that
the different sources of error? It's not just how you plot the points. If you use a different sample, there will be some error. I bet because your transit, you have a big drop, you have a big transit in your graph. You have some peak and then it drops very quickly. So your effect, your integral, will end up all area. It could be severely affected by this peak. If you have error in that peak, the peak depends on how fast you put in things or whatever. Okay, and so these are the things. This would be something that I would worry. Also, if you use different samples, you may get different curves. So that's what the kind of error I'm talking about.
We did take some precautions. That is, like we wrapped the beaker with aluminium foil to prevent outside light from affecting the reaction. Whereas other factors which might affect the antioxidant strength, for example, temperature or any other factors, because we conducted in a very short period of time, so they should be controlled. And if there are any other factors that will affect the antioxidant strength, presently we don't have the knowledge of those factors, and further investigations can be taken. Can
I follow up the question because yes, the second question, but the first question is actually related to your methodology, right? So I'm coming from the methodology side. You put in your hydrogen peroxide. Did you turn off all the lights in the room? Yeah, there's no light in the room?
Absolutely.
Right, because at that amount of time, you put the cap back on. And secondly, how do you mix up the solution?
We actually had, we made a small hole on the cap, so after, we stick in the dropper and we add in the hydrogen peroxide, and afterwards we won't remove the dropper from the cap, so
but then
it's
you need to mix up the solution. Stir the solution. Do you stir it?
Not really, but because but this is controlled because we didn't stir any setup, so this is controlled.
It depends on how the drop was falling down. Therefore, there's a lot of variation. Even though the same experiment repeated 10 times, it may have big errors. That's what the Chen was talking about. Oh, sorry. So
yeah, that's basically what.
Yeah.
唔該曬咁多位評判嘅時間。
There's one more question.
Yeah. This is also about the accuracy of your measurement. Have you considered other methods of measuring the amount of antioxidant, and then that would be an independent way of verifying your measurement?
A more traditional method of measuring antioxidant strength is by the titration method that you have previously heard from the other school. It's by using iodine and using iodine solution. Yeah. And however, we would like to introduce a newer method in our investigation, and we think that because like iodide ion can react with air and oxidize back to iodine, and this will give to certain inaccuracy in the procedure. And we have considered this, and like because like in our reaction, in the reaction between luminol, the oxidation of luminol must take place with the presence of catalysts and also hydrogen peroxide. So until the luminol molecule is activated by the hydrogen peroxide, it will not undergo any oxidation. So this source of error is reduced.
好，唔該晒咁多位評判，亦都再次多謝咁多位同學嘅。